what's going on, everybody? So today I just want to do a little video about tank counters. And I know that the new hero just came out. He looks a bit broken. I've got a few ideas for counters for him too, but for now we'll just start at the top of the list as it goes in order. So we'll start with D.Va. First and foremost, a good counter for D.Va in my opinion is Reinhardt, mainly because of his shield. Like, her damage isn't really that high, and you can obviously ignore her matrix with his primary. Now she can block your fire strike with it sometimes, but she can't really do much about the your hammer swing or your charge. She also can't do anything about your shatter. So that being said, Reinhardt's a pretty solid pick against D.Va. Next on the list, and I am a Doomfist main, so of course this is just me, but I think Doomfist is a pretty good pick. Now she can block your primary fire, which isn't anything crazy, but you can also hit her with your seismic strike and your punches. And another thing about that is, if she tries to remech, you can punch her out of her remech and do a, you know, pretty much kill her, and you'll end up finishing her off. So I think Doomfist is a pretty good pick. Let's see, the next pick I would say, I don't want to say Winston. While he does have a shield and he can shoot through her matrix with his primary, she can target him very easily, get a lot of good headshots, and chase him. So I don't think that's a very good pick. Roadhog, kind of the same thing. He's a big target, so she can just kind of melt him a little bit. Sigma's a pretty good pick against D.Va. He can absorb her primary fire and her missiles. She can absorb his primary, but that's not constant. She cannot absorb his accretion, and he does have shield, so a pretty decent pick against D.Va. Probably one of the best picks is Zarya, just because of her bubble. Like, it's so big and she hits it so well, like D.Va's primary fire. And obviously she can't do anything about Zarya's laser, it just does damage. It's simple. Zarya's a simple hero in my opinion. Like, she has shields, 2 fire modes, her ultimate just, you know, brings everybody together under the team for you to attack. I think she's a very solid pick, definitely one of the best to go against D.Va. Next on the list is Doomfist. Now Doomfist, he has a lot of counters right now all throughout the game, but right now we're just talking about tanks. So as far as tanks go, a good one to start with right away is Roadhog. Now Doomfist is kind of a low health hero, and Roadhog, he can interrupt Roadhog's healing, but that's only if you lit him. See that? I just killed him in 2 shots. Doomfist, typically he'll dive in with seismic and then he'll go for a punch, and then he's just kind of stagnant and he blocks. So when he blocks, that's your chance to grab him and reel him in and do some damage. Or even if he's trying to leave, you know, sometimes you can grab him off a scoop, pull him back in, finish him off when he's trying to run. So Roadhog's a pretty good pick. Junker Queen's an okay pick. Not really a hard counter, but I don't have issue playing against Doomfist with Junker Queen, just because, you know, she's got pretty good health regen. It's not the best, it's not like Roadhog's or anything, but it's okay. Winston's an okay pick. Again, not the best. This guy might be. I'll need some more time with him though before I can decide really. Orisa. Orisa is the hardest counter to Doomfist. First of all, 4 to 5. It decreases damage taken and it blocks his punch entirely. Like, he can't do anything to you. He's not gonna stun you. And when he blocks, all you have to do is hit him with javelin, and it knocks him out of his block, and you can do damage. You can block his primary, and again, he can't do anything about your fortify, so Orisa is a hard pick against Doomfist, for sure. As far as the others go, Wrecking Ball is an okay pick. I mainly say that just because if you're in ball form and he punches you, it doesn't really do much, it just kind of moves you. But that's about it. As far as the rest goes, like, I mean, the primary fire is going to do damage to him pretty well. He doesn't have a lot of health. And as long as you're in ball form, like I said, he can't like stun you with his punch, and you can typically avoid it unless he's targeting you directly, which he might still hit you with it, but you know, it's not super likely. Next on the list is Junker Queen. This is a weird one. I think she's really popular right now. I don't want to say she's meta, but she's definitely a high pick from what I've seen in comp. Now granted, I'm only in like plat, and sometimes I play in diamond lobbies. I've played with masters players. She's a hot pick. She's got really good damage output. Her self-healing isn't like game-changing, but it does save her a lot of the time. Like, it's just enough to keep her alive to finish a fight. So that being said, in my opinion, I think Doomfist is a good pick against her, first off, for a few reasons. So, Junker Queen is a shotgun, and, you know, you can block against her primary attack and her knife throw. The knife throw is going to pull you in if she hits you with it, whether you're blocking or not. When she does her slash, she has to, you know, wind it up. You can easily just pop a really quick punch and block it. So you'll interrupt, do a little bit of damage, and then be able to move a few shots off on her. Stuff like that. She doesn't have armor health, she just gets over health. She does have the stealth healing, but like I said, if you block that axe slash, then you don't have to worry about, you know, a big chunk of damage being taken on you. Also, her ultimate, if you know what it is, she just dashes across a large area, straight forward. If you see her doing it, you can interrupt her ultimate and knock her completely out of it with just your punch. So, Doomfist, good pick. Roadhog, exact same reasons. You can interrupt her slash, you can interrupt her ultimate. You also have way more health than she does. So if you're in a 1v1 fight with a Junker Queen, you're probably gonna win. Just because you can interrupt, yeah, it's 2 shots. You can interrupt her slash incredibly easily. Same with her ultimate. So, not much more to say on that. Orisa's a pretty good pick. Orisa's a good pick against most of the heroes right now. So she's probably gonna come up more often than not. Damage reduction, javelin for interrupt. Yeah. You can actually block her slash with your spin, which is, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't think that should be the case. But yeah, your javelin does interrupt her ultimate and her slash. Or you can just do that. So, Orisa's a good pick too. So this is the new character. I'm just gonna go in and start based on assumption. I haven't played against him yet, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say D.Va's a good pick. He's a big target. Both his fires are, you know, kind of hit scan turrets, so you can kind of deal with that pretty well. Yeah, so that didn't really take that much. Get in and get his headshots. After making this video, I did actually play against D.Va with a new character, and she is very good against him, so keep that in mind. I think Roadhog will be a good okay pick. I don't know if he can stop the running, because it says it's immune to CC, but Roadhog's hook isn't really a CC. So, we'll see. I think he's an okay pick in terms of just being able to brawl it out with him. So we'll figure that out as time goes on. You know, he's new, first day in. Sigma's an okay pick, better than Reinhardt because of his absorb. He can absorb his turret fire, you know, throw out his shield, soak up a little bit of it, hit his stun, all that good stuff. So I think Sigma's a good pick. Orisa's probably a solid pick. Again, like I said earlier, she's probably gonna pop up a lot. You know, she can do that whenever. She can block his attack with her spin, take less damage with her fortify. So I think she's a good pick. Ramattra could be an okay pick because he can block. That's actually, yeah, you know, big target. I don't know if this will slow down his dash. I don't think it will. Regardless though, you can still go in, you know, reduce damage taken with your block, all that good stuff. So Ramattra's probably a good pick. So as far as picks go against the new character go, I would say D.Va's a good pick, Roadhog's okay, Orisa and Ramattra, and Sigma. I would, top three are probably D.Va, Orisa, and Ramattra, in my opinion. Definitely meant to say Sigma in this part, sorry about that, not Ramattra. Ramattra's an okay pick, but I think Sigma's going to be more of a countering pick. So next up is Orisa, everybody's favorite horse. Not really though. So simple, she has a primary fire, it's projectile, you can block it, nothing to it. She's a big target, you know, you can get in, do a lot of damage to her. Her fortify kind of stops that a little bit because she doesn't take headshot damage and she takes reduced damage. So if you're doing this and she has fortify and a support on her, you're gonna do less damage as she gets healed. So it's probably wise to pull out, but you can still block the primary fire and the javelin. So D.Va's a good pick, solid, decent pick. Doomfist, definitely not. Roadhog. So here's my thing on Roadhog. I think Roadhog as a pick to go against Orisa is okay. I think if she focuses your healing with her javelin, that's a problem. You'll have to switch. But if she's not doing that, Roadhog's an okay pick. You can do good damage to her. You can hook her when she's not fortified. And when she's ulting, if you have your ultimate ready and she uses her ult, pop it and just stand there and spray her. You will win that fight 100% unless she gets, you know, cleansed. But any other time, if she's using her ult, fortify, she does not move, you use your ult, you're gonna melt her. Sigma's an okay pick against Orisa.
Why ask questions?
The accretion doesn't really do much against the fortify, just a little damage, but I mean, when she's not doing that, if she's just doing spin and you hit her with the boulder, it will knock her out of it and it will stun her. And obviously you can absorb her primary and her spear. So Sigma's a really good pick against Orisa. Zarya's a really good pick against Orisa.
We will crush them.
Unless the Orisa's really good and just like comes at you relentlessly. You know, she can't really do much. She should charge up your shield. You'll be able to do damage to her. She can't block it with her spin. You can just keep shooting her while she's spinning and then pop your shield while you're reloading, come back, do it again. So Zarya's a pretty good pick against Orisa, one of the best for sure. I think Winston's a good pick against Orisa because she's kind of slow. So if she's in the front and there's like supports in the back and you've got somebody on you, you can easily dive them and she can't really do much about it. Throw it on your shield, she can't shoot you, she can't javelin you. So I think Winston's a pretty decent pick against Orisa, just for the sake of diving the back line. Any other time, not so much. Okay, next is Ramattra. So again, I'm a Doom main. I do this a lot. So in my opinion, Doomfist is a good pick against Ramattra. You can start him out of his block when he's in his secondary form. You know, nothing too crazy, but you can do that. You can punch right through his shield if he has it up.
Death awaits.
So yeah, he's an okay pick. He's not the best. If you try to dive out and he has this thing down and you go through it, you're gonna go straight down, which is okay. But I think he's an okay pick. Like you can go toe to toe against Ramattra on the other team if you play Doomfist. Junker Queen's a good pick.
My throne is where I stand.
If he's in his Nemesis form, you know, he's easy to hit. Shotgun does a pretty good amount of damage.
You got too close, didn't ya?
You know, you can grab him. If you grab him, he throws up his shield, you pull him through it, pull him out, axe slash, hit him with a knife.
No one can stop.
Couple shots in, you know. Same thing you would do with anybody. Orisa, good pick. You can block his primary attack. Fortify, if he's coming in on you, he's not doing much damage with his punches. If he's blocking, you can block him out of it. So, you know, nice and simple, she's a good pick. Roadhog's an okay pick. A lot of health. You can get up in his face, take him out pretty easily. when he's not in Nemesis form. And even when he is, if he's blocking, you can pull him out of his block, yank him in, take care of him. That might pose a problem if your teammate is behind you, because he could target them, but if not, you can usually get him. Sigma's an okay pick.
Why ask questions when you can just obey?
I don't think he's a top pick against it, but I think he's a contender because he can knock him out of his block with his accretion.
Obliterated.
Actually, you know what? I think Sigma is a good pick against Ramattra. He can block his attack, he can absorb his primary fire, and his ability that he throws down. Yeah, and he can knock it off his block, so I think Wrecking Ball is a solid pick against Ramattra, mainly because his primary doesn't do a ton of damage and he can't hit headshots on you if you're, you know, in ball form. But yeah, you get up in his face, you can do a lot of damage. And if he's blocking, you can still knock him back. There's nothing really to that. Okay, pick. So against Ramattra, my top picks would probably be, I'm gonna say Junker Queen, Orisa, and Sigma. Roadhog's up there, but like I said, his pool is a little bit of a risk because of your teams behind you. But if they're not, you know, he's a good pick. So next is Reinhardt. Once again, we have Doomfist.
Our future will be forged in conflict.
My thing on Reinhardt and Doomfist is if Reinhardt's blocking, you can knock him out of his block, which exposes him and his team. Now, if Ryan gets you with a pin, that's bad because your health is only 450. But you can block his attack, you can block his fire strike, you know, that reduces the damage quite a bit. So I think Doomfist is a decent pick against Reinhardt. Junker Queen's a good pick against Reinhardt. As I stated earlier, when I was talking about the Queen counters, she can slash through his shield. If you throw the knife on his shield and he drops it, and he walks into it, it'll still grab him and then you can pull him forward. So, good pick. And when you use your ultimate, you can go right through him, his shield. Orisa, again, always a counter. She's a good pick against Reinhardt. Mainly just because her Fortify. So if he charges into you if you use Fortify, you know, if you're not new, this is nothing new. It was in the first game too. It will just completely stop him mid-charge. Now, if he has somebody pinned and he does this, it's going to kill them against you, which is kind of sucks. But you can also block his Fire Strike with your spin. And you can stop his charge with your Javelin. And if he is shattering and you throw your Javelin at the right time, you can interrupt his shatter. Ramattra, obviously good pick. When he was introduced, it was shown that he was a hard counter to Reinhardt. And this is true. You throw this down, you get it behind him, you run up. If he has his shield up and his team behind him, you can punch right through it, hit all of them. It does a pretty good amount of damage. He's a really good pick against Reinhardt. Roadhog's okay pick. Sigma's not. Winston, it's always been said that Winston's a good pick because he can shoot through the shield, but at the same time, Reinhardt has more health and armor. So if he puts a shield down and just starts hitting you, you know, you're gonna have to pull out. He's not a good Reinhardt's not just gonna stand there and let you shock him and his team. He's gonna attack you. Wrecking Ball's a good pick just because Reinhardt can't hit him that well. If you're in ball form rolling around and you're swinging, you're getting your slams, you're getting your spins, you're getting your knockbacks with the grappling hook. He's gonna have a hard time hitting you. Like, he's gonna have to really focus on that, and that takes away from the rest of your team, so they can target him too and the other team. So another good pick. So top picks against Reinhardt, I would say Junker Queen, Orisa, and Ramattra are probably the top three. So next is Roadhog. Roadhog counters are, they're not super hard counters because if you encounter a good Roadhog, it's, you know, you're gonna have a hard time. I say D.Va is because he can pull you in, but if he does, you can just immediately start using your Matrix and then just spray him. He does have a lot of health, but you're gonna get a ton of ult charge and you're gonna do a lot of damage. Like, just off killing the low health Roadhog with 550 health, I got almost 20 ult charge, and that's without him being healed. So D.Va's a pretty solid pick. Now that does go both ways. He can damage you a lot too. Orisa is a solid pick. She can block his attacks. The spin also blocks his hook, and it blocks his ultimate for a short time, so keep that in mind. Fortify blocks his hooks. Now it is a double-edged sword. If he's using his ult and you fortify, you're not going to move, so you're going to keep taking that full damage. You do get the reduction, but his ultimate does a lot of damage. You can knock him out of his healing when he's doing his take a breather. So if you get him low and you watch and you see him start to do it, if you do that with it, he's going to stay low health, he's going to be vulnerable. So yeah, I think Orisa's a really good pick. And on to Sigma. Orisa's not a great pick against Sigma. I think Doomfist is an okay pick, but if he catches you blocking and he hits you with his boulder, that's an issue. Drunkard Queen's a pretty good pick. I know he can absorb projectiles with his secondary ability, but you can still hit him with stuff, and you can hit him through his shield. You can rush him pretty easily because his attacks are kind of, you know, not super accurate. Reinhardt is a great pick against Sigma. Probably one of my favorites. You can block his attack. If you see him pull up his boulder, you have time mid-swing to pull your shield up and block it, and then just go right back into attacking. You know, there's not much he can do. I think Winston's an okay pick. You can be hard to hit, you know, when you jump around like you do. Go through his shield. He's not like Reinhardt. He doesn't do a ton of damage. He can just whop you. You know, if there's an issue, you can just go after his teammates, or you can jump up, you know, ignore him, throw your shield down around him. You know, kind of use that to avoid his accretion. So I think Winston's an okay pick. Wrecking Ball is an okay pick against Sigma too. He's not the best, but he can go in. You can roll right through his shield, hit him with a little knockback, maybe a pile driver. He cannot absorb your bombs if you ult around him. So he can't absorb your primary fire, so he's not a top pick, but I think he's a good pick. Zarya is a really good pick against Sigma. Probably one of the best. Just walk through his shield, ignore it. You see him pull up his accretion, pop a bubble, he's gonna hit you, you're gonna get a little bit of charge. You can hit him through his absorb. Just continuously. It does absolutely nothing to your laser. Okay, next on the list is Winston. So for Winston, first and foremost, I think D.Va's a good pick. I know he can shoot through your matrix with his primary, but you can get on Winston. If he tries to fly away, you can pursue him if he's low health, and you can finish him. That's it. That's the only reason I say D.Va's a good pick, because she can chase him. You know, if she gets in close, just walk through his shield, you can melt him pretty well. Drunkard Queen's a good pick. Similar reason, she can't chase as well, but she can move fast and catch up to him. Or if you get a hook in him and he tries to jump away, you can yank him back. Get him through his shield, get in his shield, do a lot of damage. I think she's a really good pick. This guy might be a good pick. I'm just gonna stand here and shoot him. So yeah, I think he'll be a decent pick. Orisa is an okay pick. If he gets on you, you can usually take him on pretty well. The issue with Winston, as I already stated in the counters to Orisa, is that he can dive your team and you can't really get to them that well if he throws down his shield. So that could pose a problem. So Ramattra, obviously he can shoot through that, but if you get up on him and he has his shield down and he's trying to play on that, you can just punch him through it regardless. And you can block his primary fire with your block and it does almost nothing. So he's an okay pick, not the best. Reinhardt, not so much. Roadhog. Roadhog's a good pick. If you get Winston in on a hook, you know, he's a 3-tap for sure. Especially if you have your team with you. And I know that the health is reduced on tanks right now. It might not be for them standing over here, but yeah. If he's trying to jump away, you grab that hook, he's low health. You know, you reel him in, boom, he's done. Easy. He's a big target, so Roadhog's a good pick. I think Wrecking Ball's a good counter to Doomfist. I meant Winston. I don't know why I said Doomfist, but this is definitely Winston. If he jumps in, you know, you can hit him with your knockback, hit him with the pile driver. If he tries to run, you can go after him pretty easily if you have grapple ready. And if you just get right up on him, you know, you could do a pretty substantial amount of damage, and your health pool is so large, especially with your shield. So he can't do much. So for Winston, my top picks against Winston are D.Va, Junker Queen, and I'm gonna say Roadhog, just because his damage output is so high and he can pull Winston back in. Wrecking Ball is a strong fourth. So speaking of him, on to the next. Wrecking Ball he's very annoying to deal with. Again, similar to Winston, I think D.Va's a good pick. You're not always going to want to chase him, because a lot of times when people play Wrecking Ball, they're trying to be a diversion. But if you do chase him, like in ball form, you can be on him. If you're jetting, you can stay right on his tail, and you can just keep spraying him for damage. So if he's low health and you see him trying to leave, you can pursue that and finish him off. And you can block his primary fire with your matrix. I think Junker Queen's an okay pick.
My throne is where I say it is.
If you get him with your hook and he tries to leave, you know, the pullback is really hard on him because he's in ball form. If you time it right, you get your slash off and you get a few more shots in, you know. Case closed. Easy peasy. This guy's gonna be a good pick against ball for sure because of his health pool. So he's trying to, you know, play around, roll through your backline, just focusing for a sec. If anyone else shooting him with you, he's gonna be done quickly. Orisa's an okay pick. If he's coming at you, you can use your spin and stuff like that and your javelin to knock him back. He's not the top in my opinion, but he's an okay pick. Roadhog is a pretty good pick against Wrecking Ball, you know. Even though just in ball form, the damage output is insane. You know, between 4 and 5 shots. 5 shots we'll probably call it if he's moving. If he's trying to leave, boom, pull him in, get him right up on you, full damage. And your ultimate knocks him back a lot if he's in ball form. It also hits him a lot because he's massive. So one of the top picks for that is definitely Roadhog. So my top picks for Wrecking Ball counters are, I'm gonna say D.Va, Roadhog, and between Junker Queen and the new character, I'm gonna say the new character just because his damage output seems like it's gonna be a lot and it's like kind of hit scanish. So he'll be able to really target him, kind of like Bastion's turret. So I think top 3, he's gonna go in there for sure. So last in the list is Zarya. Very annoying to deal with. First off, as you know, I've already mentioned it, I main Doomfist. I think he's a good pick. You can block her attack in between her bubbles when she's not bubbling. You can punch her. She doesn't have a high health pool, so she's not super hard to deal with. You get in her face. That's how you're supposed to play against Zarya. At least with Doomfist. So that's really it for that. Not the best counter, but I think he's alright.
My throne is where I say it.
I think Junker Queen's pretty good.
You got too close, didn't ya?
Her damage output is pretty high. If you time your slings right, you know, just do it around her bubbles, she'll be able to hit her with it. She can't stop the bleeding with her bubble like she does with the being on fire, stuff like that. So, and with your shout, you're pretty quick. So I think she's a good pick. New character might be if you just melt her bubble and just kill her. That's about the only way I would see that working out. Ramattra's an okay pick because he can block, kind of like Doomfist. He can't stun her or anything like that, so not as good in my opinion. Some people might argue against that, which is fine. You know, comment below if you disagree. Go ahead. We all play differently. Reinhardt's a really good pick against Zarya. You can just block her attack while she's bubbled. Bring it back out whenever she's not. Take the hits, you know, if she's not charged up. There's really nothing to it. You charge the pin right, you know.
There they go.
She can bubble right before the pin, but if you have open space, you can go long enough for her bubble to go away and they'll do damage still. So Reinhardt's a really good pick. I think Winston's a good pick against Zarya. You know, obviously the primary fire, as you all know, she's very slow. She has no movement whatsoever. Orisa has at least a little bit of movement and the stun with her javelin. Zarya does not have anything but primary and secondary fire, so if you get on her teammates in the backline or if they're far away from her, she can't really do much and then she's by herself. So Winston's a good pick for that reason. Wrecking Ball, similar reason, you can dive the backline, but also if you are just on her and it's just you and her, just don't shoot her when she's bubbled. And, you know, don't charge her up. It doesn't take much to kill her. So, my top 3 picks against Zarya are probably going to be, I'm going to say Junker Queen. I'm not going to say Orisa. Reinhardt and Winston. So, Queen, Reinhardt, and Winston, top 3 picks to counter against Zarya. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you agree or disagree, that's totally fine. You know, feel free to comment below. No issue whatsoever with that. Try it out, see if it helps you any. And I hope everybody has a great day, and make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.